Revolutionary greetings, comrades. In our international series, we are looking into Mali today. When we were discussing the coup in Burkina Faso, we tried to draw a comparison between what is happening in the northern Burkina Faso and in central Mali. And we said in the video when we're discussing Burkina Faso that in the last 18 months, there have been a number of coups in that region. And one country that went through a military coup is Mali. It was not the first coup. There was a coup in 2012, another one in 2022, in 2020, sorry to say. Now, what is of interest is the recent developments in Mali in respect to its relationship with France. We will, of course, later on do a comprehensive analysis on what is happening in France. What is happening in Mali, why Mali has taken the decision that it is taken, and how it is aligning itself with some of the powerful forces internationally. So in this video, we simply look into the announcement which was made on the 24th of January 2022, when Mali announced that it is cutting diplomatic ties with France. So the government of Mali announced on the 24th an end to diplomatic, military, and economic ties with France according to the demands of the Malian people. This is significant. So we will indeed do more research on this, do a comprehensive, a detailed analysis on what this means. The government of Mali announces its decision to sever cooperation agreements with France from today on the 24th of January 2022. The government of Mali announces an end to its participation in ECOWAS. Henceforth, Mali will no longer be a member of ECOWAS. What does this mean? Which we'll analyze. For Mali to pull out of ECOWAS. What was the attitude of ECOWAS when a coup happened in Mali, a military coup? So these are the issues that we will in detail analyze. The government of Mali announces that as from today, the 24th of January, French will no longer be the official language of Mali. Bambara, which is the local language, will henceforth be the official language of Mali. We will do a separate video on the question of languages. There are some who are saying Shona language must be an official language in South Africa. We will, in some other video, discuss that as part of the national question. But we will not get into that discussion. I know there is a tweet out there that says I, as Ngabuto Nicholas Mapena, launched a complaint about someone that wants Shona to be considered or to be declared a national language in South Africa. We'll deal with that at some other time, not now. Then the government of Mali calls for the immediate exit of France and its troops from across the national territory. The government of Mali calls for the immediate closure of the French embassy and all French institutions on the national territory of Mali within 72 hours. This is very, very interesting. The government of Mali calls on all the youths, civil servants, civil society, and the religious authorities to mobilize and take charge of their destiny. This was a communique which was issued on the 24th of January 2022. We want to hear your views on what you think by this step taken by Mali, given the role that France has played in that region. And you know that some countries in West Africa still pay colonial tax to France. France is involved in this destabilization of Africa. We discussed the destabilization of Africa by France in one video when we spoke about Guinea. If I'm not mistaken, there's a video that we did, and how some young people are trained militarily in France. And we were discussing the coup that had happened, and the men that had taken over, led the military coup. I think it was Guinea, that he spent his time in France. So what does all this mean when the military in France, which took over power, now cut ties with France? What is the relationship of ECOWAS to France for Mali to say it is pulling out of ECOWAS? And what has been the attitude of ECOWAS to the military takeover in Mali? Which class does the military represent? We have seen in the past progressive coups, like the coup that was led by Comrade Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso. We know that Comrade Sankara was assassinated in 1987. When it took over, Burkina Faso was progressive under his leadership. A coup which was led by brother leader Muammar Gaddafi was progressive, and he turned a desert. Libya was a desert before brother leader Muammar Gaddafi took over. And we know what Libya was under his leadership, very progressive. And we know what is happening today, and we did a video about that, the destruction in the name of democracy in Libya. So it is not that all military coups are not progressive. There are some coups, of course, that are counter-revolutionary. There are some coups that have been progressive. In Burkina Faso, led by Comrade Sankara. In Libya, led by Muammar Gaddafi. So we want to understand your views on what you think has been the attitude of ECOWAS to the military takeover in Mali, its relationship with France, and France's role in that region in West Africa. So we will to do an analysis, but in this short video, we wanted to, as part of our international series, note the developments that are happening in Mali. Also, given that in Burkina Faso, a coup just happened recently, a few days ago, and we know that Burkina Faso shares a border with Mali, and the Mali says now it is out of ECOWAS. Please write your comments, subscribe, and circulate. Thank you so much. Goodbye.